perfect football weather here in Cleveland. And it's a perfect time for an interconference matchup. The 1-2 Chicago Bears taking on the 1-2 Cleveland Browns. October weather, perfect football weather, as we've already said, 55 degrees, a little cloudy, but this is the kind of October weather you expect, and the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Bears are ready. The Bears have won the toss. They will receive. Jerry Azuma back deep. Short kick, and it's taken instead by Adrian Peterson. And Peterson is across the 30-yard line, and that's where Kyle Orton and the Bears offense will set up shop. As we've already said, Orton with a disastrous week 2 weeks ago against Cincinnati. 5 interceptions, and he said, I've never had 2 bad games in a row. Well, we'll test that theory out. Up front, a lot of veterans, a lot of guys, a lot of experience across the NFL there. And Thomas Jones, 2 consecutive 100 rushing yard games coming into this game. That would be Thomas, and he didn't get much. The Cleveland defense, they'll run a 3-4, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. They're still getting used to it. They've got a couple people that were defensive linemen last year that are now linebackers, like Kennard Lang. In the secondary, they brought over Gary Baxter from Baltimore as a corner. They'll go with McCutcheon on the other side, along with Russell and Crocker at the safety positions. 2nd down and 8. They'll fake the end around and go inside to Thomas. And Thomas is across the 40-yard line. It looks as though he's got a first down. Let's see how they mark it. He got 9, and that is a first.
Ronnie, so far this game's starting, and just a couple plays into it, exactly like the Bears want. They're going to continue to want to pound the football. Thomas Jones has been terrific. He's coming off 2 100-yard games in a row, and I think if you look at this team, they want to keep Kyle Bowler in 3rd and manageables. They don't want him to get in the 3rd and 6 to 8 range. That will come for Orton. That will come on 1st and 2nd down with their ability to run the football.
Cleveland brings pressure late. They flip it out to Jones. He jukes one, and he doesn't quite get to the 45-yard line. Tackle on the play by Sean Thompson.
And that's what you want with Kyle Orton, who actually played pretty decent in the first couple of games of the season, and then kind of ran into a buzzsaw against Cincinnati. Got, I think, hit at the beginning of that game after an interception. Right. Got a little rattled. Was trying then too hard to make plays. They love this guy's confidence. They love his poise. And I think one thing, you look at that completion percentage for Orton at only 52%. This Cleveland defense giving it up to over 76% completion rate for opposing quarterbacks.
One way, Tim, you keep him from throwing the interceptions, you start running the ball.
And I think a key when you look at this offensive line today is how will the guards do in space? You know, they've lined up. They've been playing against 4-3 teams. Most teams in the NFL run that 4-man front alignment. Terrence Metcalf today, Reuben Brown. Curious to see how these guys play now in space and trying to get to the next level and get those linebackers blocked.
3rd down and 5. Could be the first passing situation. The 2nd passing situation for Orton. No, they'll hand it off. Jones looking for the corner. I don't think he's going to get it. Great open field tackle by Dalen McCutcheon, the son of the former great Los Angeles Ram running back Lawrence McCutcheon, and that'll bring on the punting unit for the Chicago Bears. We'll start off with the empty backfield, a quick throw, and that's complete out to the tight end, Aaron Shea. Let's go down to the sidelines with Jay Glazer.
Well, guys, one receiver, Trent Dilfer, will not have today. Is the 3rd pick in the draft, Braylon Edwards. Edwards right now in the hospital, remain overnight, getting an IV. Yesterday, his right elbow blew up. In fact, I was at walkthrough. He cannot straighten the arm. The elbow blew up like a softball. They had to go in there yesterday, drain it, clean it out. Right now, the team has no idea how long he's going to be out. It started with the bump 2 weeks ago. He started scratching up. The infection went all the way up to his shoulder. Back to you.
All right, Jay, thank you very much. And that's Reuben Drones, and Drones gets off big. He's out close to the 40-yard line, 14 yards on the pickup. The offensive line, Shelton, Tucker on the outsides, and Druzy Coleman, the guards, and Jeff Fain inside. Reuben Drones, Made his name really in Cleveland, and he's hoping to make another name here and be the guy, the only guy running the football.
Yeah, his first opportunity really in Denver last year. Went for over 1,200 yards, and nice job there on that power zone to the left. Good block by Coleman out front.
Drones in the middle, nothing doing. Nice tackle there. Ian Scott, the defensive tackle, nice through. And the Bears defense, they've really kept the Bears alive so far. Playing that high-speed, intense Lovie Smith football. And, of course, the linebackers, very active. They can all find the football, led by Urlacher, the 4-time Pro Bowler. Not so sure that Mike Brown was even going to be able to make it in today. He had that hamstring injury that's been bothering him. They may try to go after Charles Tillman. He gave up a couple big ones 2 weeks ago against Cincinnati. And they go to that side, and that's complete to Northcutt.
I guess that validates that Robert Thomas trade, huh?
I guess so.
Woo.
And the Browns going up against a very valid Chicago Bear third down team. Third in the NFL, stopping the third down conversion. They won't stop this one. Shea. And Aaron Shea is inside the Bears 30 with a first down. Finally brought down by the rookie Chris Harris. And Shea getting his first action of the year. He's been injured all 3 games.
Well, and it's going to be Antonio Bryant that's going to run guys deep. He is going to take a safety deep down the middle of the field with him. They're in that cover 2. The Bears on defense. And then watch Aaron Shea just sit behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties in that zone. Very good job by Trent Dilfer keeping his eyes down the field to find Shea. And Ronnie, he was, as you said, a big part of the game plan on Friday when we were watching their practice.
Yes, he was.
He was everywhere.
Been bothered by injuries a lot in his career. Healthy there. This one's up for grabs, intercepted. Tillman. And he'll take it at about the 4, and it'll be Chicago's ball. And that may be the first bad throw we've seen by Trent Dilfer this year.
Giving up a couple of big plays on the back end of the defense.
Jones touched it all 5 times last series, and he touches it again here. And that's a great run and a first down. He's out to the 20. Let's go back to that interception.
Well, it was a bad throw by Trent Dilfer. Here's Hunter Hillenmeyer right here. He's going to end up taking Drones, who runs a wheel route out here. It's just 3 deep with these guys back. Trent is looking down the field and thinks that he's got Antonio Bryant one-on-one with Hillenmeyer. No dice on that. Tillman comes off late in that cover 3. I don't think Trent ever saw him. Easy interception.
And the Bears just keep pounding the run game. 15 yards on the pickup previously by Jones, and he runs it again here. And on that interception, Dilfer took a shot.
Well, good job by Urlacher coming on the blitz on the inside. He and Alex Brown have been all over the quarterback this year. They talked about that. Yes, Urlacher's been the beneficiary, though. He's been the guy coming over the sack numbers. Alex Brown's got nothing.
7 plays, 7 rushes for Jones. They'll throw, and that's complete. That's out to the tight end, Gabe Reed. And Reed has a nice pickup.
You're going to see a lot of this from Chicago, Ronnie, just because what you'll see from Cleveland is a lot of zone defense, a lot of cover 2, and you're going to see Kyle Orton playing it safe. Looking down the field, guys are covered. Let's check it down to the underneath guys. You know, pick up 7, 8, 9 yards, 10 yards, and just leave it at that. Orton will take those high percentage passes all day long because it all comes off of that running game. Thomas Jones already off to a good start here today.
We've already seen 1-3-4 defense team this year, the Washington Redskins, and it was a low-scoring game. There's a shot outside to the rookie Mark Bradley. Fumble. It's recovered by Ray Mickens. And Mickens is still moving. He's pushed out of bounds just inside the 20. Remember when we were playing, this is the time when teams went play action and threw it. They'll hand it off. Drones looking for the corner. And he's got a nice pickup. Run out of bounds by Tillman. But that looks to be close to a first down.
Very good job right here on this side of the ball. Watch the double team on Ogunleye and then off to the next level on the defense, which gives them the edge. Ogunleye comes in. They're able to kick it to the next level, seal the linebacker, and Drones with a big lane, Ronnie, picking up about 10 yards on that play. Very well blocked up front, and catching Ogunleye on that downward slant allowed that offensive line easy access to the second level of that defense.
See the red zone defense for the Bears. They toughen up down here. They'll go to Drones again. Brought down by Ian Scott. Reuben Drones brought in a trade in the offseason from the Denver Broncos. Put together a nice year last year. Over 1,200 yards rushing. But a lot of people, Tim, want to say, hey, that's not the back, it's the system, because they've been able to put together a lot of 1,000-yard rushers out there.
Yeah, and he's got a chip on his shoulder for that reason, does Reuben Drones. Now, they got him split out wide on this play all the way out at the X position over on the sideline. This is him here.
Dilfer looking inside. Is it intercepted? No. Hunter Hillenmeyer had it. And the Browns have struggled in the red zone. They come into this game last in the NFL, 6 trips in and only 1 touchdown.
Really good coverage by Lance Briggs. He's got the tight end right here in man-to-man. Going to try to run a little seam in front of him. Or the running back, excuse me. Watch Briggs get over the top on that running back and knock it out. Very good play, sitting and picking up his guy once Suggs leaked out of the backfield.
There's the red zone numbers I just mentioned. They'll throw again. Slip screen. It develops late, throws, and he's not going to get in. Urlacher on the stop, and as I said to him, it did develop very slow.
And Urlacher's the guy who ends up making this play from his inside linebacker position. He's going to feel it, and then pursue over the football. As you said, it develops late, sitting in his drop, and then now when linebackers see it and it develops late like that, they can really sniff it out and go get underneath those blockers and come up with the stop, holding that screen to a minimal gain. Started to look like they were going to go downhill. They get the momentum back. They force the fumble and get 3 points out of it.
Dawson will kick this one away. This will be Azuma at the 9. He's got it lane. Jerry Azuma out to the 40, the 44-yard line. Perfect field position for Chicago. Finally brought down by Joshua Cribbs. 34 yards on the return. 3 defenses. You know, safety blitz from a long ways away at Crocker. He comes in and hits it right in the mouth. Brings down Thomas Jones.
You know, Ronnie, you see these Browns, and Romeo Crennel has installed the 3-4 defense, but watch what happens with the variations. You'll move a defensive end right here, will move down weak. The weak side linebacker will move up. It becomes a 4-3 look. Then you can bring the Sam linebacker up on the tight end. It becomes a 5-2 look. You'll see a bunch of those different fronts today down on the football field. Right now, Sam up with this linebacker up here on the tight end. Really is a 4-3 defense.
A loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Outside to Muhsin Muhammad, and he's gaffled up quickly by Dalen McCutcheon. And that, on the good side, is Muhsin Muhammad's 600th career reception.
Ronnie, you look at the teams that have gone to the 3-4 defense this year, and look at the 2 in the middle, Dallas and Miami. I would say they're running it probably much better right now than San Francisco and Cleveland. And I think the real reason why is certainly not the installation, it's not the teacher, it's about personnel. You look at Dallas, you look at Miami, they're geared to play it better, I think, with a better 2-gap nose guard and more versatile outside linebackers. Those 3 positions, absolutely key in this 3-4 defense to make it work right.
3rd down for the Bears, and the Browns are the worst 3rd down defense in the NFL. But they'll hold on that one. Intended for Desmond Clark, and that'll bring on the punting unit for Chicago. Consistent drive yet. 2 turnovers already. The Browns have capitalized off 1. That's a quick shot outside to Antonio Bryant, and he's run out of bounds.
They'll do a lot of that with Trent Dilfer and rolling him out of the pocket and doing different things to help elude that Bears pass rush. They bring it pretty good. You know, talking to Trent on Friday, really was intrigued in talking to him, and, you know, the opportunity to do it all over again and to lead this football team and to start this team. He said he came in day 1, didn't have anything to do, watched some film, put on 300 snaps of watching this Cleveland Browns offense from last year. And the thing he wants to bring, Ronnie, is stuff that he was really able to gather in Seattle. Rhythm and tempo that he learned from Mike Holmgren is going to be a big part of this offense as they try to grow and gel during the course of this year.
That's a 2nd down and 5 run to William Green, and he doesn't get much.
And I think that's the whole key. When you talk to veteran quarterbacks, and Maurice Carthon knows this, they'll all tell you, offensive football, it's about speed, it's about rhythm, it's about tempo. not letting that defense start to dictate. Keep those guys on their heels, get them thinking early with a bunch of different looks, moving the pocket around, the quick passes. Of course, it's all predicated, though, and Maurice Carthon loves it, that big running game, and trying to pound it up inside and get Trenton some of those 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s.
Here's a 3rd and 5. This will look like a passing situation as he sets in the gun. Gopher under pressure. Not known for his scrambling ability. He'll let this one go. And it's out of bounds, and that'll bring on the punting team for Cleveland. Nice job by the Bears secondary downfield. Cedric Benson checks into the running back position. They'll go play action. And it's caught, and that's a Bears first down. Mark Bradley, 2nd-round pick out of Oklahoma. He fumbled earlier, but he secures a nice catch there.
And they're really looking for Mark Bradley, the rookie 2nd-round pick, to step up. I mean, someone other than Muhsin Muhammad and Thomas Jones has got to have an impact in terms of making plays on this offense. Justin Gage started the first 3 games of the year. Mark Bradley had a very, very good preseason. They figured they needed to get his skill level into the lineup to give Orton an opportunity to go to somebody else other than Moose.
This will be Benson, and Benson, with his first run of the day, gets a couple. This will be 2nd and 5. They'll go to Benson again, and Benson, as Lovie Smith said, trying to get him involved in the game a little more. As you know, Benson, the 1st-round pick, held out 36 days before training camp, finally came in, finally signed. And I think seeing Ronnie Brown from Miami and Cadillac Williams, before he was injured, getting off, kind of said, hey, I think I want to get in the game now, too.
Well, he shouldn't have held out so long. I mean, that's real simple. And think about Cadillac. He was there from day one and never held out. So that certainly has played a role the first 3 weeks of the season. Lovie Smith told us, though, today, here in the 4th game, they'd like to get him 15 touches running the football today.
Here's another touch, and he's looking for the first down on the 3rd and 1. I don't think he got it. And Tom White holds up the fist, and that fist means 4th down.
Well, Ethan Kelly and Nick Eason, both on the interior, do a good job. Watch both of the big D tackles in here, driving, staying low under the O-lineman, and building a wall now that Benson can't get through. Ethan Kelly, really a good job coming inside there, creating no bubble, no opening at all for Benson to try to pop through.
The Bears,
they have no kicker. They got to go for this.
4th down. They've converted 2 of 3 this year. Make it 2 of 4.
Ronnie, this is just how you draw it up in short yardage defense. The ball's going there. Watch Sean Thompson squeeze the hole, and then Orlando Ruff come fill it and get the tackle for no gain. And this is perfect short yardage. See Sean Thompson, he shrinks that hole, nowhere for Benson to go. And then Orlando Ruff coming in, filling in there nicely, holding them short of the first down.
Browns will run it. They'll go to Drones, and he got a couple. And maybe one reason they didn't go for the field goal is
that's the reason.
They had to bring in a new kicker this week. That's Robbie Gould, a free agent, the rookie free agent out of Penn State. They just signed him because the normal kicker, Doug Bryan, has been bothered with a bad back all week long. Hasn't been able to practice, hasn't been able to kick. They brought this kid in, said, hey, you're going to go, but apparently they weren't ready to give him a shot just right off the bat like that. There's a throw outside. It's complete to Antonio Bryant.
And I don't,
man out of Pitt.
Ronnie, I don't second guess the decision by Lovie Smith whatsoever to go for it there. I mean, they've been running the football good. Thomas has been, Jones and Benson have both been able to, get some push in that run game. And when you don't know your kicker, I mean, everybody on the road in a tough venue is going to take the 3 points. But when you don't know your kicker, you don't have any confidence. They've watched Gould kick for 2 days. So he certainly has confidence in that offensive line. It was the right decision. It was really well played by Cleveland defensively.
3rd down and 1. Bears creep up, show pressure. Hillenmeyer coming off the edge. They go inside to the big fullback, Terrell Smith. And Smith has the first down. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Jay Glazer.
Well, guys, Reuben Brown, the former Pro Bowl lineman for the Bears, was injured on that 4th down play, just taken in the locker room. They're calling it a pec strain, but he was in a lot of pain out here on the sideline. We'll know more in a little bit. Back to you guys.
All right, the 8-time Pro Bowler Brown is off the field. First down after the run by Smith. Play action. The deep comeback. Northcutt, is he in? Yes, good catch. Let's go to Los Angeles for James Brown.
All right, Ron, Arrow Harris having himself a nice day indeed. The defensive back here. Take a look for Green Bay as he jumps this one, takes it back 22 yards for the score. He has a second pick as well. Green Bay playing passionately or desperately. Either way, they're up 14-3 on New Orleans. Back to Ron and Tim.
All right, JB, thank you. 11 yards on that pass completion to Northcutt. And Drones pounding through. He's inside the Bears' 45-yard line. He got 4.
Good work by Alex Brown there, the undersized right defensive end. Watch him get the push, get some extension. Now he's going to push Shea away, going to spin back and get in on the tackle. That was a full cutback by Reuben Drones, and Alex Brown holding his position. They call it staying home, keeping your leverage point backside. He spun back into it and was able to get in on the tackle.
2nd down and 6. Browns with a 2 tight end look. Pass from it. Intercepted. Mike Brown. He's the big play guy. He's had a lot of returns. 6 for touchdowns. He's looking for the house. 1 man to beat. And Brown takes it all the way down inside the Bears' 10-yard line. Finally driven out by Dennis Northcutt. 72 yards on the return. And I thought he had a bad hamstring.
He probably did, or he'd have scored. He is such a playmaker. We told you in the open, he's a big play waiting to happen. Bad throw by Trent Dilfer, looking for his tight end Shea down the seams.
Great catch.
Completely overthrows him. Mike Brown sitting back in that cover 2 defense where your 2 safeties, Ronnie, stay deep. He was there for the overthrow, and then when this guy gets the ball in his hands now, after he gets it, he's electrifying. He's got such great vision, and Trent Dilfer trying to get in on the mix a little bit. A couple of bad throws here early in this game by Trent. Wow.
The longest interception return of Mike Brown's career. Orton in trouble. Flag goes down. Jones will score, but boy, that flag smells like holding. Pure pro out of Texas A&M Kingsville. They'll go to Jones again, not much. Tim, how many times did they call hands on the face mask when you were a Chicago Bear?
Yeah, the game has changed, though, Ronnie. The game has changed a lot, and they've really taken into consideration the player's safety and all that stuff that gets involved. You know, it is what it is. They want to protect the quarterbacks, and when a guy comes scot-free and then falls down and isn't able to get on the sack, they got to figure there's an infraction somewhere when we throw the yellow flag. See if these Bears offensively now can take advantage again, and another big opportunity given to them by the defense.
Not this time. Sack. Alvin McKinley coming off the edge. He gets his first sack of the year. 3rd down and goal. 3rd and 26 to get to the end zone. Plenty of time for Orton, and this one is somewhere near camp.
Simply rush forward, drop 7. They only sent out 3 receivers. That's, do the math, Ronnie, 3 receivers against 7 defenders. Nobody open in coverage in the back end of that defense. And when it's 3rd and so long, and give a lot of credit now to that defense on 1st and 2nd down for pushing Chicago backwards, making them get into that 3rd and super long. We're able to drop 7. Nobody was open back there for Orton to get it to.
Robbie Gould's first NFL regular season kick, 44 yards out, and it looks good. And he'll remember that one for a while. So Gould steps in for Doug Bryan, comes out. They say no to him the series before, but this series, Lovie Smith said, hey, kid, we brought you in here for a reason. Go get us some points, and he does. Ball resting at about the 28-yard line. They'll go with the toss to Drones, and Drones almost had a lane, then he gets ear-holed by Brian Urlacher. Let's go down to Jay Glazer.
Guys, on that last defensive stand by the Bears, Mike Brown comes up with a huge interception. But as of last night, the Bears did not think he would go today. He woke up this morning, head coach Lovie Smith said he met with Brown, and Brown said, Coach, I'm good. Trust me on this. I'm good to go. And Lovie said that was huge for us because Brown's the guy, not only is he a playmaker, everybody looks to him for their assignments. Back to you.
That's right, Jay. As we said earlier, 3 career touchdowns, 4 on interceptions, 2 on fumble recoveries. He almost had 5 on interceptions. Urlacher is knocking splinters
all over
out of Reuben Drones. He's in the hole again. Let's go out to Los Angeles for James Brown again.
Hey, Ron, speaking of being in a hole again, Al Harris having a good game. His second pick of the day led to this Najee Davenport 4-yard touchdown run on 1st and goal. Green Bay up 21-3. Boy, looking for their first win of the season. Back to Ron Pitts.
And JB, they have to get healthy. That team is struggling.
So nicked. You're right.
And it's all about number 4. If number 4 goes, then they go.
You know, they're hurt everywhere. They're hurt in the line. They're hurt at the linebackers. They're hurt back in the secondary. They're hurt at wide receiver. They still have number 4, though, like you said.
The turn route out and up by Antonio Bryant, and nothing there. Great coverage by Nathan Basher, and that will bring on the punting unit for Cleveland. And Mike Brown missed all of last year with that torn Achilles, but this guy's done a lot of damage. 2001. Comes up with the
James
big play. That was James Allen. Here's the big play that he came up with to ice the game.
Bears fans have seen a lot of that over the years. I mean, you can think about the Green Bay game. You can think about San Francisco 3 or 4 seasons ago. He finished that one off.
Muhsin Muhammad.
Always just seems to be one of those guys, Mike Brown, Ronnie, that's in the right place at the right time. And people would like to say, you know, that's luck. And the guy, no, you know what that is? That's hours spent in the film room. That's understanding wide receiver combination routes. That's understanding and anticipating where the ball is going to go next. The guy is a very intelligent football player. That's why Mike Brown makes plays. It's not luck.
2nd down and 4. Jones in the backfield, Muhammad in motion. They'll go with the power. Jones. Jones has a couple. Ben Taylor brought him down, a pickup of 6. That'll be good enough for a 1st down.
They got Mark Edwards running at fullback right here. You'll see him just come to the left in this isolation play. Just a power isolation. Tries to get up on the linebacker, and I think you look at Garza, did such a good job on the backer. There was no one for Edwards to block there. Thomas Jones kicks it back inside and picks up what he can. Nice run.
9 carries for 38 yards for Jones. As you see the average yards gained on 1st down. I notice Orton is doing a good job of knowing when to throw the ball away today.
Well, I think you take that game 2 weeks ago and he was trying too hard and he was throwing it up in coverage.
Yes.
And here he just rolls out to his right on the little naked bootleg, and there was nobody. When you look at his tight end, wasn't open at the front level. Muhsin Muhammad tried to get him on the 2nd level, covered up like a blanket by that Cleveland secondary. And that's an area where that defense is playing better today. I think if you looked at them the first 3 games of the season, that was an area where I don't think they feel real comfortable yet in terms of their coverage drops coming out of this 3-4 defense.
They'll go to Jones, and the run game has been there all day long for the Bears. That's another nice run. Tackle by Crocker, but 8 yards by Jones.
It's a very good block by Desmond Clark out on the edge to provide a cutoff for that cutback lane. Thomas Jones has reignited his career in Chicago. Actually got it started in Tampa a couple of years ago coming over from Arizona. They gave up on him. He is off to a very, very good season. I mean, everybody wants to see Seth Benson back there as the number 4 overall pick running the ball. Hard to take number 20 out, Ronnie, with the impact that he's had in the running game this season.
But here's the problem. The Bears are 0 for 4 on 3rd down.
Got it.
They finally got one. Nice job of making it happen by Jones. And Jones, as we said in the open, he put together 2 consecutive 100-yard rushing games already this year.
Go back to last year, he's had 4 or 5 over 100. Again, it's the cutback. Good push by everybody front side. Sees the vision to cut it back and gets just enough for the 1st down. He runs with a chip now. That's one thing you got to like about him is he's got a big, big chip on his shoulder. Runs angry.
Runs mad, huh? Instead, the first 3rd down conversion today for the Bears. They'll look to push this one deep on the post corner. He's got Muhsin Muhammad, and Muhammad is inside the Browns' 30-yard line. And a great job of adjusting to the ball by Muhammad. He actually tripped coming out of the break and was tripped by the defender. But he regains his balance and comes up with a big catch.
And he's just going to run the deep out. Watch him here. He'll press it inside on Crocker here and then cut back outside. Chris Crocker falls down, and then Moose stumbles a little bit. So Crocker's going to fall down there. Moose stumbles, gets tripped up a little bit, still keeps the concentration to go up and capture that football with his hands.
Muhsin Muhammad already over 600 catches in his career, 3 for 30 today. Brought in from Carolina, the big free agent, looking for some big plays, and no big play there from Jones as he tried to go around the corner. And bringing in Muhsin Muhammad was huge, and he told us last night he had his choice to go to a couple different places.
Baltimore was the other big one in terms of the money that was being offered. He'll do it all now. This is part of the reason they brought him down here, because he'll get out and block and do whatever he needs to do in terms of the crackback. That's not one of his best right there, but certainly is a guy that loves to light up outside linebackers and safeties. Always has since he came into the league with Carolina as a down-the-field blocker in the wide receiver position in the running game.
Detroit was after him. Dallas was interested. There's another throw inside and another snatch, and he's got that ability to snatch that ball out of the air. And a lot of people were surprised that Carolina didn't up the ante and keep him there.
He said, though, it ran its course in Carolina and was there for a long time, and was part of that Super Bowl run a couple of years ago. Last year, 16 touchdowns, phenomenal year. I mean, he was arguably the best receiver in pro football last year, and he said the city was right for him. Came up to Chicago. He said he looked at this team a lot like he looked at Carolina. Very, very good young defense. Guys flying around, wanted to be part of it. Now, when Rex went down, it got him thinking a little bit in training camp, but he is glad he made the decision to become a Chicago Bear.
Another third down, 3rd and 6. Pressure inside by Cleveland. They pick it up. Orton's got to make a play, and he can't. Let's go to Los Angeles for James Brown. Coming up on the 2-minute warning. They'll play action with drones. Shoot it out to the big fullback, Smith, the former linebacker.
You got to throw him a bone every once in a while.
Literally here in Cleveland, a bone.
Didn't Romeo tell us that? I sure didn't. I mean, it's been defensive football, to say the least, in this blue-collar matchup.
Drones. He's across the 50. And Trent Dilfer, as we mentioned earlier, came into this game with a quarterback rating of 95.1. Today, he's hovering around 37.5 with 2 interceptions.
Were you surprised in talking to him on Friday that when he said after he watched those 300 snaps that Antonio Bryant, without question, is the best receiver that he's ever played with?
Well, I was a little bit, yeah, because not too many people know about Antonio Bryant other than the fact that he threw the jersey at Bill Parcells down in Dallas when they got into a little tiff. And they were very quickly escorted out of there. But
Trent said this guy really gets it and wants to be great and wants to force tempo and force momentum and be the #1 guy here in this offense.
And he goes to a guy who's been very good today thus far, Aaron Shea. Shea moves the chains as Cleveland calls a timeout with 1:07 left. They've got 4 downs. Safety blitz. They pick it up, try to throw the deep outs, and it's not there. Coverage on the play by Tillman.
Tell me if Urlacher is a pretty good blitzer when he comes up the middle of this defense. Here's Urlacher here. He's going to watch Reuben Drones try to step up and pick him up. Drones will hit you now if he's picking up the pass protection. Watch this. Pow.
Oh, my goodness.
Urlacher is really playing good this year. He's not making as many plays as he'd like. He is in terms of getting after the quarterback, but no question he's the leader in the front 7 of this defense.
Go to Drones.
There he is
again.
You see a lot of this in pro football now. Run blitzing and blitz a run game. And they tried to come with a little draw there. Urlacher was coming up inside on a blitz, blitzing that A gap. Right between the center and the guard. Here's Urlacher here. He's going to come up in here and peel backside and get his hands on Reuben Drones on the little draw. See, the whole thing is coming tight around that offensive lineman. No gap of separation as he came right around the corner. You see that? When you shrink down that angle and you give yourself a chance to get there as he did on the running back there on drones.
I guess, Tim, it's the same theory in NASCAR. When you pass somebody, you don't go wide. You pass as tight as you can,
you have
as smooth
to,
as you can.
Because if there's any separation as you're trying to come around a stunt or trying to come around a lineman, the guy is always around the football.
He's got 7 today, 3rd and 9. Double clutch, nothing. And the Bears defense is just out of control. They are all over the field. And it's a good thing for the Bears offense, because all of their scoring, 38 of the 55 points, have been off of turnovers from the defense.
In this city, and since they've gotten this football team back in 1999, you got to give a lot of credit to these fans for sticking with them and continuing to show up and support their football team.
Azuma, he had a nice return last time out, picks his way across the 30-yard line about to the 31, 25 yards on the return. And both teams are full of history, full of Hall of Famers. The Bears have 26. The Browns have 15.
To Moose and Muhammad, Mark Bradley, whoever it's going to be in that passing game down the field.
That's a good point, Tim Ryan. Dilfer looks inside. It's denied. Gets it back outside to the tight end, Aaron Shea. Shea has a couple. There's a look at our halftime stats.
Very close to the vest. I mean, some total yards, some advantage there for the Browns, but you look at the first down, 7 apiece. Both teams in the 50 range in terms of running the football.
And look at our fantasy numbers. Don't forget the latest in fantasy stats. Log on to foxsports.com on MSN.
Nice job on the first down right there. And what they did is they'll line up with a big, heavy formation out to the right, put everybody strong, and then Trent, if he sees a cushion backside to his receiver, will throw that hitch route, thinking he can pick up 5 or 6. They did it there and picked up the first down.
Maurice Carthon in the hurry-up offense. Gets the ball to Drones, and Drones with a nice pickup. He's out close to the 46-yard line, brought down by Mike Brown. I think they want to change up the tempo now. Everybody talks about tempo, playing fast, playing quick, and no one knows this more than Trent Dilfer, coming from a fast-tempo West Coast offense out in Seattle.
And that's right. Maurice Carthon is preaching that here as the offensive coordinator. And we talked a little bit about that in the first half with Trent, and I'm sure there was a concerted effort to go in there at halftime and say, look, let's be sharper. Let's speed up the tempo, be more crisp, more precise. So far, they've done it here in the third quarter.
2nd down, short distance, 3. Looking for the screen. It never developed. 2nd screen today that didn't come true.
You can tell Chicago has done a good job knowing that Cleveland is a good screening football team. That's one thing that jumped out on film at you and I both, that this team, the Cleveland Browns offensively, they're good at their screens, the timing, the execution. And really, it's picture perfect versus a speed defense that Chicago deploys and puts out on the football field. So a lot of credit to Ron Rivera, that Chicago's D. So far, so good versus that screen game by Cleveland.
3rd down and 3. What they call a manageable down and distance on 3rd down. You don't have to extend yourself as an offense to pick it up. Bears will rush only 4. The outside throw, and there it is, and a big-time hit by Tillman. And they'll mark it for the first down.
Yeah,
Aaron Shea, once again.
They'll give it to him on forward progress. Ronnie Shea is going to come in motion on this play, and he's been a big part of the game plan today. You'll see him here leak out, and then he's just going to go get in front of the sticks for the first down. See, he knows exactly where he needs to get across the 30-yard line to get the first down, and gets forward progress before Peanut, Charles Tillman, can rip him up and put him on the ground.
Shea from Ottawa, Illinois. Trying to play well for the home folks. 5 catches for 54 yards.
He's had some injuries since he's been in this league, and has come here and has been in and out of the lineup with injury issues. Remember thinking about the tight end position. Kellen Winslow was the guy that they really wanted to be their impact, displaced, athletic tight end. He had the injury in the offseason riding the motorcycle. Aaron Shea has stepped in now. Been dealing with a pec injury for the first part of this season. This is his first activity today. He's looking good.
Had a great rookie year. Started 8 games. The next 2 years, they were injury plagued as he tried to throw one out to Hayden that time. It was incomplete. Had a shoulder in 2001 and an ankle and then another shoulder. Let's go down to Jay Glazer.
Well, T-Rock, you were talking about the tight end Kellen Winslow. Earlier today, I reported that the Browns and Winslow have agreed to terms on a new contract. It's actually a 1-year extension onto his original deal. What the contract does It allows him to make back all but $1 million of the bonus that was taken from him when he was hurt this year. He has to be healthy for the next couple of years, show up to the next training camp as well, guys. The deal's not done yet. It's not signed, but they have agreed to terms on the deal.
The key word there is healthy. Pressure, sack. Briggs came from the linebacking spot. We've got a flag down. And there looks to be a Bear hurt.
Watch Andruzzi here. You're going to see Tank come in here. Andruzzi will go this way. Shelton's got to pop out. Briggs comes in scot-free on Trent Dilfer. Nobody can block him. The whole key was Andruzzi going down with Tank Johnson as Tank crossed the face of Andruzzi, opened up that alley for Lance Briggs.
You also saw the penalty numbers racking up against the Chicago Bears. They are backed up. They'll go with Jones, and he doesn't get much. Tackled by Ben Taylor. Let's go back to that penalty.
You see Carl Ford just running with Sean Jones here, and as Sean goes to cut back inside, reaches over his shoulder, grabs enough cloth to pull him to the ground. Back judge sees it, throws the flag, and then Lovey going to give him a little something. You don't see Lovey pull that headset off too often now down there on the sideline. A little something for the first-year player, Carl Ford.
And what he's saying is, son, you can't put our offense with a rookie quarterback in this kind of position. But if you have this man, it's okay. Thomas Jones, straight getting busy. He's out past the 30-yard line, 23 yards on the pickup and a Bear first down.
Watch the movement here by Olin Kreutz and Garza on the defensive tackle. They're going to get him pushed that way, create a tremendous running lane right up there inside for Thomas Jones. You see the push? Look at that thing. Look at it just open up. And then you get a good block backside by Metcalf. Jones sees it, and then a couple of nifty moves on the interior to pick up extra yardage.
And they'll throw this one outside to the rookie Bradley. And Jones had a pretty good first half as well. He got off early, and I think that's the key.
Well, he's been very good this season, Ron. I think a lot of credit needs to go to that group up front, that offensive line. They have gotten a lot better this year when you look at them. Now they're out there playing with a backup and Roberto Garza, who's playing left guard for Reuben Brown. Roberto's always been a right guard in pro football, did give up the sack in the first half. This offensive line much better this year than they were during the 2004 season.
That 23-yard run by Jones is the longest run from scrimmage and the longest play from scrimmage by the Bears this year. And there's another nice one.
And
Jones
again,
is up past the 50.
Ronnie, watch Garza on this play, and we've gotten on him a little bit for giving up that sack in the first half, but watch him right here get to the second level that I talked about and get the cutoff block on Ben Taylor, the linebacker. You get that linebacker off his feet like that, you saw right where the alleyway was for Thomas Jones. That is a terrific block by Roberto Garza, chopping down the middle linebacker.
15 yards for Jones. And they'll just keep pouring it up inside. Remember, Jones came from Tampa Bay last year. And unfortunately, a lot of people remember him for his time out in Arizona. He was a #1 draft pick there in 2000, played 3 years. And he broke his hand his last year there, and that was the mysterious phone incident where he supposedly broke his hand answering the phone. The Arizona Cardinals didn't go for it. They shipped him out.
You know, I don't think he'd be the first guy that failed in Arizona, but reignited his career somewhere else.
Absolutely. Looking for the cutback, can't quite get to it. Nice play there by Ben Taylor, the inside linebacker.
That's one thing. You'll see these guys slow play it now on the backside because Chicago has been successful with the running game, cutting back. You're going to start to see these linebackers slow playing it. Taylor able to get up inside there, just kind of shot the gap and was able to corral Thomas Jones before he could get started. Watch those linebackers continue to slow play it on the backside for that cutback, which is always a big part of the power zone. And Ben Taylor having some issues over there on the sideline now after that tackle.
This brings up third down, 3rd and 5. Orton looking for the quick one, and he's got it. Is it caught? Muhsin Muhammad. Yes. First down, Bears.
That's a perfect throw from Kyle Orton. Muhsin Muhammad knows exactly where to go to get past the sticks. Man coverage with Dalen McCutcheon. Watch him press past the line there for the first down. Come back to the football and it's the only place that Orton could put this with the coverage.
Boy,
low
tight.
and outside. It's as good as it gets. Nice job between the quarterback and the receiver on that one.
Orton checks it down. Thomas Jones again. For maybe a short gain. Taylor on the tackle. And one thing that Lovey told us last night was that was a fluke. 5 interceptions from this kid in one game. He can do better than that. We know he can do better than that. We drafted him for a reason. I would be shocked if that happened again.
Yeah, and, you know, talking to him last night, he does have that gunslinger mentality and said, I'll just put it up.
Right.
But I kind of talked him down and said, look, with this defense, though, you got to manage the game better and not make mistakes. He agreed wholeheartedly.
Jones looking for the end zone, and Jones is inside the Browns' 10-yard line. 26 yards on the run. Baxter brings him down.
Boy, they are just hitting him right up the gut. Running right at that nose guard and those 2 inside linebackers. Watch Olin Kreutz matched up on Fitz there. He is going to drive him completely out of the hole. Metcalf gets to the second level. Nice little alleyway for the running back to get up inside. And they're just running downhill right up the gut on this Cleveland defense.
18 carries for 121 yards on the day already for Jones. He won't get much there. Let's go down to Jay Glazer.
Hey guys, you were talking about Kyle Orton before. One guy you could talk to about him, that's Olin Kreutz. Olin said he's my 16th quarterback, but we were shocked when he came into that huddle originally. He didn't act like a rookie. He was actually telling people where to go, where the Sam Backer and Will Backer was going to come in. And Olin said, boy, this is what a quarterback's supposed to be like as a rookie. He shocked all of us.
He put up prolific numbers last year at Purdue. 31 touchdowns, over 3,000 yards passing, and only 5 interceptions. Pump fake, looking for the corner, it's not there. Double coverage on that play, McCutcheon along with Crocker.
Boy, and they're lucky nothing was called there. I guess that was an uncatchable ball because they were banging, moosing around pretty good when that ball was in the air. Watch them. I mean, they've got double coverage on them with the corner and the safety. The ball's in the air there. They're knocking them around pretty good, but with the ball being out and over that thick white stripe, I think it was an uncatchable ball. Therefore, Crocker did not get called for any pass interference.
The longest drive of the season for the Bears so far, 85 yards.
Tight end needs to show up.
3rd and 7. Edmonds will walk in. Touchdown Bears. No flags. So the Bears, with the rookie quarterback, put together a great drive and cap it off by actually coming away with 6 points, maybe 7.
Ronnie, I had my crosshairs on the tight end also. Look at what they do back here in the secondary. Everybody goes with Desmond Clark to the middle of the field. Nobody with Mark Edwards out here by himself. You see Desmond Clark hold those defenders to the center of the field. Allowed Mark Edwards to escape out of the backfield for the touchdown. Very good call by Ron Turner.
Gould puts it through, and we've got ourselves a knock-em, rock-em robot game here. 10-6, Chicago. And the Bears put together the longest drive of the day and also the longest drive of the season, 93 yards on that.
There you go.
Kyle Orton was pretty solid. A flag goes down. Is it a fumble? William Green carrying. Bears say they've got the ball. Here's a quick pitch to Northcutt and defended perfectly by the cornerback Charles Tillman. So if you're the Browns right now, what do you do, Tim Ryan? Because I look over and I see Antonio Bryant, the wide receiver, pumping his fist and screaming at the Browns sideline.
Well, you got to keep running the football and you got to continue to stay balanced. I think against this defense, who's very good with their ability to rush the passer and very comfortable with their coverage fits on the back end, you got to get them guessing a little bit, and you can't be one-dimensional. So I say you got to continue to run the football on first down in particular to set Trent into some third and manageables against a pretty good D.
There you go.
The toss to Green. Nice block. can't get quite to the 40-yard line.
And I'm not so sure of the tosses and these types of plays.
2nd and 9. 3-step drop, quick throw, complete to Hayden. And Hayden is to the 45. We've got a flag down, and it came out late. 2nd and 19. They'll go draw to Green, and Green takes a big shot, and flags go down quickly. Urlacher can find the ball.
Who had a great vantage point to see L.J. Shelton with his hands outside the framework of the defender.
2nd and long. They'll go with the middle screen. Green, absolutely nothing. The Bears converge quickly. Hillenmeyer there right away. And the Browns going backwards in a sense. They started at the 27. They started that play at the 19.
And you just see the speed show up here for the Bears. It looks like they're going to have something. But Hunter Hillenmeyer, Urlacher, and Lance Briggs, all 3 linebackers, that's how you play a screen game. Nobody was blitzing. Everybody was kind of sitting in their middle zone. We're able to see it develop and then go up, sniff it out, and make a play.
See the 3rd down number today for Cleveland. 3rd and 22. Going to Bryant, and that ball is just thrown down the middle of the field. I don't think Bryant had a real chance for it.
Talking to Romeo, the one constant from all 5 of those teams with Super Bowl rings that he was part of, 2 with the Giants, 3 with the Patriots.
Fumble.
Uh-oh.
Sean Thompson comes up with it. You know, in that situation, the coaches consult with their assistant coaches upstairs to get a second opinion and a third opinion. There's a quick shot outside. Drones, he's been out of the game for a while. He gets a couple, he got 7. Let's go to Los Angeles and check in with James Brown.
Hey, Ron Pitts, the Jets only had 59 total yards in the first half, but moving it in the second half. Curtis Martin's 1-yard TD run there on 4th and goal is the first second-half touchdown allowed by Tampa's top-ranked D. It's 14-9 Jets. Vinny moving the squad in the second half. Back to Ron Pitts.
All right, JB, thank you. We're looking at a 3rd down and 5 for Trent Dilfer. He wants the quick slant. It's not there. Goes to the backside for Hayden, and Hayden has the first down.
Body rocking people at fullback.
Drones sidestep 1. Can't sidestep Briggs. And Briggs brings him down. Dilfer looking at a 2nd down and 7. Pressure, sack. Tommy Harris, and he gets his first sack of the year.
He is so good at counter moves on the inside, and that's what makes Tommy Harris so good is his counter move. Watch him charge up the field here and then swim and come underneath and then accelerate to get to the quarterback. Whoop! Right there. Now he's got the burst that he can get there before Andruzzi can catch back up and get himself a sack. You see, Ronnie, a lot of people can beat someone initially, but the ability to get by him and then close the gap on the quarterback is what makes average players good players. And Tommy Harris certainly is one of those guys that is a good player and can finish those. Nice sack.
It's like a receiver going to get the football when it's in the air. 3rd down. Almost got a sack again. In and out of the hands of Frisman Jackson. Urlacher. But we've got a flag in the backfield, and that will be holding against Cleveland.
Alex Brown told us that he could beat L.J. Shelton right here with speed around the corner. It's exactly what he does here. He's got L.J. beat right from the get-off. Now L.J.'s got to arm bar him and get it across the front side and pull him so he doesn't get a sack on the quarterback. That's 2 bad holding penalties on L.J. Shelton that have pushed his offense backwards.
Shelton, one of the 3 offensive linemen brought in free agency this year.
Well, remember, Ross Verbo was the guy over there and apparently wanted more money. Didn't want to earn it. They told him to move on his way, and then they brought L.J. Shelton in from Arizona.
Browns go all the way back to midfield. Flags are everywhere. They complete it, but don't get too excited if you're a Browns fan. 2 flags are in the backfield.
Alex Brown is having such an impact on this game today. This time it's Joe Andruzzi that holds him as he comes in on a pass rush stunt. Alex Brown can't buy a sack, but he can certainly get holding calls. He's going to hit it here. The tackle's going to come around him as Alex Brown pushes into Andruzzi towards Trent Dilfer. Joe's got to grab him and basically just throw him to the ground. See, he's holding him right there. That's a sack by Alex Brown.
Last 12 plays, 5 penalties for Cleveland. And Drones, he's trying to get a little bit of it back, but it won't even be close. And the Boo Birds are out here in Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Watch Alex Brown here coming off the edge. He's going to get upfield on this trap, bringing guys backside. Almost makes the tackle from the backside of it.
Did good to get out of that.
Sure did.
And had to reestablish himself before touching the ball, being the first to touch it. Jones is back in, and they'll try to get back to that run game that's been so good on the day, as Jones is well over 100 yards.
And here's Lehan running down as a flyer on the punt team, and watch as he gets into the end zone, exactly what we talked about. He's going to come back and reestablish right there, but I don't think he quite knows he's reestablished. He saw that ball back. Oh, do I touch it? Well, he ended up being all right because once he reestablished himself back in the field of play, he was able to down that ball on the 3-yard line.
And that is only the case for special teams plays like that. That is not the case for a wide receiver that would get pushed out of bounds. He can't be the first to touch it. Jones again. He lost 3 before. And he got a few on that one.
This defense, is about time for them to make a play via the turnover. They haven't gotten Kyle Orton in a lot of the 3rd and longs like they've wanted to today. He's been able to stay in these 3rd and manageables, which have allowed him to do a pretty decent job here in the second half on 3rd down. Let's see if he looks for somebody other than Muhsin Muhammad, who has certainly been his go-to guy today.
Nope. They'll stay with the run, 3rd and 5. And the Bears are saying that he's got it. It's going to come down to the spot.
But so far in this 3rd quarter, that offensive line's got to be better in front of him. L.J. Shelton, Joe Andruzzi have given it up here in the 3rd quarter.
A mix-up on the backside, and there's the hit. As Dilfer just throws it away. Michael Haynes on the pressure. Let's go down to Jay Glazer.
Guys, it's not just Trent Dilfer who saw the opposite of that warm and fuzzy side of Romeo Crennel. On the last series also, Crennel walks over to his offensive line, and guys lit into them like you would normally not see a guy like Romeo Crennel. So he's showing his other side here, getting very frustrated.
When he should be. I mean, you've got an aging quarterback in Trent Dilfer, a guy you got to keep healthy so he can mentor your young guys all year long. You got to have protection up in front of him, and it wasn't blitz stuff. Guys were getting beat with one-on-one moves by the Chicago defensive linemen.
They moved Dilfer out of the pocket on a 2nd and 10, and he completes it to Antonio Bryant, and Bryant took a big shot. Dilfer's numbers.
Brutal. And again, you know what brings it down is that right there. The 2 interceptions from half number 1. Trent's got to come out and establish something here in the passing game here in the second half. I'd like to see him continue to look for number 83, Aaron Shea, who's been a big part of this game plan
today out huge
for the Cleveland Browns. Remember, they're without Braylon Edwards today, so he's somewhat limited in his weapons. 83, Shea right there needs to step it up. Help out Trent Dilfer some more in this second half.
5 catches for 54 yards for Shea, mainly in the first half. In and out of the hands of Frisman Jackson. And that's the kind of stuff that gets you beat. Going through a couple years ago, we went out to Seattle. They were trying to get the road game going together there. Don't forget our doubleheader coming up. Most of you will see the Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
That boy's got issues,
that,
man?
While others will see the Redskins and a big one out west against the Denver Broncos.
How good has Donovan McNabb been this year?
Injuries
with all the
and
injury, it doesn't matter. Absolutely lighting it up through the air with the Philadelphia Eagles.
2nd down and 5. Safety blitz inside. Right into the teeth of it. Chris Crocker came down from the strong safety spot and made the tackle.
Remember what I was talking about earlier where run blitzes, a lot of teams, they're in vogue right now. Watch Crocker. He's going to bust this. Ends up being a little trap, but he gets up inside of it and hits it in the mouth before anybody can get blocked. See that? The trapper has to go get the linebacker. No one's there for Crocker, who snuffs it out before it gets started.
And Jones is injured. Hobbled off the field immediately. Cedric Benson checks in. He fumbled the last time out. 3rd down and 5. There's a throw, and that's got to be a first down. A nice catch there by Desmond Clark. Let's go to Los Angeles for James Brown in this update.
Hey, Ron, your USC partner will like this one as you take a look. Sean Alexander with a strong 18-yard run to pay dirt for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. The key play, USC. Yeah, the rookie, Lofa Tutupu with the pick. That set it up. I know Tim Ryan is screaming. 34-21, Seattle. Back to Ron Pitts.
Lofa, just a good football player. That's all, Ronnie.
That's it. Yeah, they say he's small and can't do this.
Yes, undersized that. Watch him play.
Deep comeback, and it's well out of bounds.
Because Adrian Peterson can pass protect. I'll be curious to see if this is a run or a pass. Uh-oh.
And that's a fumble. And they tried to run some kind of funky wide receiver reverse. Bernard Berrien loses a handle on it. And a good hustle by the Bears to get back on it.
Yep, they're going to play action, fake it right there, and then try to get the take. Look at that's Pop Warner stuff right there for Bernard Berrien. If you're taught to receive a handoff, what do? Inside arm up, right? You just kind of capture that thing in the gut. He had his hands down. Bad technique by him taking that handoff, had no chance. Goes on the ground and puts him in a 3rd and almost impossible when you look at it now. Maybe 19 or 20.
Great alertness by Muhsin Muhammad who recovered the fumble. Adrian Peterson, and Peterson picks up the first down.
That's huge. That is huge.
With an incredible run, 20 yards.
What a block by Terrence Metcalf right here. Watch the key block. He's going to come out and get Andre Davis sealed. This is everything on this play here. Bam, right there. Adrian Peterson cuts off of it right down the gut of that defense and picks up a big, big first down for this Bears offense. Nice block by 60.
In his first carry of the year, it couldn't have been bigger. We'll give it again to Peterson. Not much.
Good blocks everywhere. I mean, look at the blocks right here from the slot receiver. Watch him go get a body on somebody. We talked about Metcalf. Look at the block there on Mickens on the slot corner. That's really good stuff. Looked like Desmond Clark out there making the block down the field coming from that slot.
That really burns a defensive coordinator up. You got a 3rd and big distance like that, and you give up a first down
on a run. Yeah, on a run up the gut.
2nd and 10. Blitz inside, they pick it up. Nice job. And they can't connect. Coverage on the play by Gary Baxter, the free agent from Baltimore.
This is why Adrian Peterson is in the football
Tim.
game. Because he can pass protect. Cedric Benson with the holdout and being late and all that stuff. Hadn't figured this part of the game out. Watch Peterson come up on Ben Taylor. Pow, right there. Take his hip out. Get him on the ground.
Open up the throwing lane.
At least give Orton a chance with an open throwing lane. Exactly.
So here they'll go again. Another 3rd down. 3rd and 10. A lot better distance than the time before. Orton in trouble. Orton sacked. A flag is down as Sean Thompson will get credit for the sack.
From the return, they chose to have him re-kick it. They did. It worked out. They ended up with about 20 extra yards of hidden yardage by making him re-kick it.
Exactly. 16 yards on the return by Northcutt.
Plenty of time to keep pounding it with the running game and Reuben Drones.
Drones gets 6. And we see Thomas Jones getting that knee wrapped up. We'll go down to Glazer.
Hey, Ronnie, here's what the deal is. Thomas Jones was telling the doctors it's the outside of his knee. They don't know what's wrong with it right now. He did think there was a little pop or something in there, but he was getting up there trying to loosen up the knee, trying to do some running on the side. It was still causing him problems. They brought him back over. Now they're just going to wrap and ice the knee. Back to you guys.
Drones again and nothing on the outside there.
You know, Ian Scott is a good player.
Has been there all day.
He is probably the biggest surprise on this defense. When you turn on the film, number 95 at nose guard consistently shows up. Watch him push the backside of Jeff Fain, get around Andruzzi, who's trying to cut him down, and get a nice tackle for loss. That's an area where Chicago is very good defensively, knocking down ball carriers behind the line of scrimmage. They call them TFLs, tackles for loss. They've got a lot of them with that group up front with that Bears D-line.
A loss of 2.
No.
Hyden. Does he have the first? I believe he does.
No measure this one, I think. This is tight. Now he's giving it to him. There it is. Here's Hyden right here. He's going to do a little curl right in that zone. Little outside curl outside of Urlacher in front of Hillenmeyer and between those two backers. Very intelligent player, knows where to get past the sticks. We've seen a couple of examples of that today. Just past the first down markers, but getting enough.
The motion Suggs out. They'll throw again to a tight end, a different tight end. This time, it's Aaron Shea. As we said before, Shea was very big in the first half. Now they're getting him dialed in again.
Ronnie, they come with a blitz from this front side. Ruben Drones does a terrific job of coming out and snuffing out the blitzer. Gave a nice open passing lane for Trent Dilfer, who finds the receiver, Aaron Shea. Terrific job by Drones, stepping up and just chopping down that blitzing linebacker.
6 catches for 65 yards on the day for Aaron Shea. Plenty of time for Dilfer. This one's going deep. Looking for Bryant. He's got him. Is he in? That's the question. Touchdown, Browns.
Time for this crowd to really come alive now in this stadium.
Orton shooting outside to Bobby Wade, and it's incomplete. Mickens on the coverage. There's a look at Dilfer's numbers.
We talked about a bad first half with the 2 interceptions, needing to step it up in the second half. It's been terrific. He's been much better. Now, the third quarter, the offensive line didn't give him a lot of protection. They've got going in the fourth quarter. They shored that up front, allowed Trent the time to make that beautiful throw for the touch.
Now the pressure on the rookie quarterback. Down by 3. He'll throw to the out again, and it's complete. And out of bounds, Mark Bradley. And he's got a nice pickup. And that'll be a first down. 2 timeouts remaining for the Chicago Bears. Go ahead.
Pretty good example of Orton's arm strength right there. And that was one of the things that they like about Kyle Orton. You throw that deep comeback from one hash to the other. Plenty of velocity on that football to pick up the first down. That's one of the intriguing things and why they drafted Kyle Orton in round number 4, because he's got that cannon for an arm. Can make those throws.
They said in the combine of all the quarterbacks, his arm strength was one of the best, if not the best. Brown showing that safety blitz again with Crocker. Fumble! Recovered by Crocker. And 2 fumbles by 2 rookies in 2 clutch situations for all intents and purposes. Benson fumbled earlier, subbing for Thomas Jones. And now Orton with the fumble. He's in this one, and Crocker has been in that safety blitz position every single time. He's been doing it all game. They're going to the corner again, and Bryant, another touchdown.
It's that Philly defense who are really lean right now at the defensive tackle position.
Throw time. And that one goes through the hands of Mark Bradley. Look at Grantham, the defensive coordinator.
He came up from Houston, right? Came up from Houston, was their defensive line coach for the Texans. Comes up here, gets the job as defensive coordinator, an opportunity to work under Romeo Crennel, steal a little bit of that knowledge that Romeo has been such a big part of in this league for a long, long time. Grantham doing a nice job with this group, teaching.
Orton in trouble. He's looking to get out of bounds, and what a nice job. Gets out of bounds and gets the first down and stops the clock. 15 yards by Orton.
Now you can see it's real simple now. Rushing 3, rushing 4, dropping 7. Get as many guys as they can get back there in coverage. Try to keep everything up in front of them. That's why you see a big area, big window for Orton to run, because everybody playing back so deep, trying to keep all the plays to those receivers up in front of them so they can come up and make the tackle.
2 touchdowns for Cleveland in a span of 34 seconds. Intercepted. Brian Russell. A flag goes down as Russell gets down inside the Bears' 30-yard line. And they'll try to work the field again. Slant. Muhsin Muhammad, he's got it. And Muhammad is down to about the 43-yard line. Obviously, they'll be in a hurry-up offense. Kyle Orton, in his 4th NFL start, had the rough day against Cincinnati 2 weeks ago through 5 interceptions. Here's another nice throw. That's the tight end, Clark. Not much. Still going to bring up 4th down. Fourth and 8. Oh, and that's it. Intended for Muhsin Muhammad.
Oh, that's
and it didn't look like Muhsin was ready or that Orton was on the same page. And that will do it. So the Browns will get the win by 10 in a late comeback in a game characterized by a lot of turnovers. So for Tim Ryan and Jay Glazer, I'm Ron Pitts saying so long from Cleveland. The final, the Bears 10, the Browns 20. Right now, let's go to the Sprint Game Break show. Here's James Brown.